Bang! What's up, guys? Daytrading knockouts here. I got another video for you today. And today what we're going to be emphasizing is the importance of psychology when it comes to day trading. So for me personally, what I've learned is that day trading itself shows you who you are as a person, and the flaws you have in your personality, your character traits, your attitude will be reflected in your P&L when it comes to day trading. I'm going to go more in depth with that, but I wanted to cover a piece of literature that I read. And the reason I'm covering this is because this little revelation gave me a little bit of like a light bulb moment that just clicked in my head after reading his literature. That's helped me take the next big step to having those big payouts in the long term, short term, medium term, long term, trade after trade, day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year. Excuse me, guys, I'm dying. Haha. But basically, it's just the next step that you need to be able to become a more consistent day trader, which will lead to those big returns in the long term. So the name of the book that I'm pointing out is called Mindful Trading: Mastering Your Emotions in the Inner Game by J. Randy Howell. Now, there's many points and topics he covers when it comes to this book. However, when it comes to the actual book itself, the most important key notes that I'm going to be taking away and covering in this video is he has this thing called the Day Trading Committee, which is something that is psychological. He emphasizes the importance of being mindful with your thoughts, your breath, and your emotions, and emphasizing and paying attention to it. He emphasizes a lot of the character traits and personalities that you have is not you. It is just things that you've acquired as you've grown up through your childhood to adulthood now. And it's not you per se. It's just something that you've acquired through your childhood, because there's many facets of you basically. I know that's a little bit confusing, but just to try to summarize it, me personally growing up, I was the type of kid that was mediocre, did in school, did in sports. However, and I was very meek and I would say not necessarily humble, just very shy and weak person overall. But growing up, as I became more ambitious and looked to do more with my life and actually take control of my life and, grab life by the horns, I actually would start to develop character traits that I guess in a way is more like dominant, takeover, type A personality, kind of thinking I'm better than everybody else, kind of thinking that I'm on top of the world type of thought process that would run through my head. So basically, that was the type of thought process that I would have, and that would carry over to my trading. And the problem with that is day trading is very passive in the sense that you either take what the market gives you if it presents setups that go in line with your edge, your strategy, and overall your trading your risk parameters and your trading strategy as a whole, or you avoid the market. What you're supposed to do is you're supposed to avoid the market when it doesn't give you jack shit to trade and it doesn't give you the setups you're looking for. Because here's the thing, if you try to force the market to bend to your will, you cannot force the S&P 500, the SPDR ETF to bend to your will. You're not going to be beating, obviously, you got to humble yourself, you're not going to be beating bigger institutions to force it to move a certain way. Literally $1 million wouldn't even move it. And more than likely, each trade you put on, you're probably not putting $1 million on. And if you are, it still wouldn't make a difference. And so it wouldn't really move the market as a whole too much is all I'm trying to say. Now, in regards to how it carries over to me, I would personally, my biggest flaw is I would impulsively trade. I would never be too shy to pull the trigger, but I would think, okay, I gotta get in for this reason. I would impulsively find reasons to get in, and I would struggle to sit back and not take trades that are not in accordance with my plan, that the market is not giving me and is not showing valid setups. So me having my personality, my type A personality, I'm thinking to myself, hey, take the trade because I need to take action. And for me, when I did more digging into my soul to who I am, if I'm not taking action, I'm not taking a trade, it feels like I'm letting life control me, and I'm not taking control of my life because, again, I'm being passive. But through time, I've always felt the need for control, and I felt like I have to take control. And when it comes to day trading, that's basically taking a trade, because even though I'm losing, at least I'm doing something, trying to make progress. At least I'm making an effort. But that's the wrong way to go about it, because again, I had to come to understanding that not everything has to bend to my will. Not everything I have to be in control, and not everything has to be certain. I have to be willing to let go of control to a certain extent and be okay with saying, hey, I am making progress and I am taking control, not of the market, but of my emotions. Because again, as you've probably heard many day traders saying, you can't control the markets, all you can control is yourself. And to go over a live example of what that looks like, let's look back, again, we're in May now, so this is almost 2 months ago. On March 27th, I had a specific strategy in play that's saying don't take any bear setups this day. There was specific context as to why I shouldn't do it, but overall, just to nail down the point of what we're talking about, I told myself no bear setups, right? No puts, no going short on this day. And if it keeps to sell down, just avoid the market entirely. Now, the first thing that happens is we start to sell off within the first 15 minutes of the market. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, first 10 to 15 minutes, oh my God, look, it's looking pretty volatile. Maybe I'm wrong. Screw my plan. I need to get involved because, again, the market is a very uncertain thing. And, again, I need to find a reason to get short because, again, the market is clearly showing me. But, again, I had to remember that in a situation like this, I needed to control my breathing, I needed to control my thoughts, and I needed to be mindful and just slow things down. And I needed to realize that in a situation like this, if I was to take a short, all that would happen is, on a bounds of probabilities, 2 things will happen. And it's always going to be these 2 reasons when I try to go against my plan and I impulsively get in long or short. In this case, it would have been short. And that is, I would have made a win, but it would have been a false positive. And a false positive is just you getting profits on a trade that does not go in alignment with your strategy, and it's more on the lines of luck rather. And even though luck is always a factor when it comes to trading, because you never know where it's going to go, it's not something that you can repeat on a continuous basis, because it is not in alignment with your psychology, your risk parameters, and your strategy. So you're just going to give those profits, those false positive profits back anyways. And the second thing is just taking a loss, having an unnecessary business expense, and just giving back profits with the loss that you should have avoided. So since those are the most probable things, I had to control what this gentleman calls the orphan. I highly recommend you read the book so you can get a full in-depth analysis of what the book is about. But you had to control those thoughts and realize, listen, I understand that through my childhood and me feeling the need to take control, I want to get in short, because if I don't get in short, I'm going to be missing out on potential profits. And I realized that, and it doesn't matter because I need to get in, because if I'm avoiding it, I am not taking control by pressing the buy button. I am not taking action. I'm not being assertive. I had to remember that since I'm either going to more than likely give a false positive or give back profits with an unnecessary business expense, I have to remember, if the market is not giving me setups I want to do or that go in alignment with my strategy and my edge, I need to be willing to back up and say it's okay to not take the trade. So I control my breath. I believe he calls this the psychological first aid relief. And that's just simply controlling your breath with your gut, diaphragmatic breathing, 5 seconds in, 5 seconds out, and being mindful of the thoughts that are coming in your brain and not just letting your emotions rattle. So you're taking control of the only thing you can control, which is yourself. So I avoided taking any shorts here. And as time went on, what happened is we ended up going higher. I was able to get long after we had a retest at this level right here. And I took profits up here. I was trying to have runners, but unfortunately we went back down and I had a $4 red break-even day. Now, that is a hell of a lot better than what would have normally happened in a situation like this. Back then when I was more impulsive, what would have happened is I would have went short, and then I might have just slammed it long to the upside. And maybe I would have gotten profits, but again, you never know. I might have taken 2 shorts, and then I might have went short, and then I would have tried to get short again because I would have revenge trade. A million things could have happened because in hindsight, It's easy to see what happens throughout the day, but during the trading day, there's a million possibilities. So hopefully that goes into detail of the importance of psychology and why you need to be able to control yourself psychologically, because without the psychological aspect, you will be giving back profits, and you will be making profits that you'll just end up giving back because they're not in alignment with your strategy, and it's not from a mindset that is optimized to win in the market day trading. So with that being said, guys, always happy to do this. Stay safe, stay green. Peace.